What's up everyone? Welcome to another video. I am here in my favourite chair again with the big old yak behind me. Wanted to speak about some supplements today, and I wanted to speak about one of the two supplements that I take, and that is protein powder.
I know you love protein. I love protein too.
Yeah, protein rocks.
The other one I take is creatine, but we will speak about that at a different time. But wanted to put my thoughts forward on protein powder, if we should take it, why we should take it, how we should take it. These are only my thoughts and my opinions. There are people that have different opinions than me, but I'm just going to put my opinion forward and discuss what has worked for me, what has worked for our members, and share with you guys my thoughts on it all.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
I do believe that a protein supplement is very helpful for the majority of people. We need to remember that supplements should only be taken if you are lacking or you are deficient in something within your normal nutrition and within your normal diet. So if you already eat and consume adequate protein without the need for protein powder, then I would say you wouldn't need it. However, from my experience, most of us find it very challenging to reach an adequate amount of protein within their nutrition every day from whole foods, from normal food. So therefore, getting it from a powder is very helpful in helping them reach their protein target each day, which, as we have discussed plenty of times before, is needed for muscle development, muscle maintenance, and overall health. I won't go down that road too far. I think by now we all understand that we need an adequate amount of protein within our nutrition. So the question of if we should have it, I have already answered. If we feel as though we are deficient in our protein intake from whole foods, as a bit of a guide, I know myself and Jamie speak about having 1.5 grams of protein per kilo of body weight every day. So if you weigh 70 kilos, 70 times 1.5, and my maths will be correct in saying that is 105 grams of protein you should be aiming for each day. As always, that is always a guide, but we have found that is a pretty healthy way to approach your protein intake. So if you feel as though you are not reaching that amount of protein on a daily basis, a protein supplement, a protein powder is going to be very helpful for you. When we should take it. So that is often a question that we get asked. When should we take protein powder? When should we have these protein shakes? My opinion on that is that we should not be having it instead of any of the main meals. So I don't believe that you should be having protein powder instead of breakfast, instead of lunch, or instead of dinner. I feel as though trying to keep those main meals with real food, with whole food, is going to be your best bet. Having it as a snack or in a smoothie is going to be very helpful to help, like we just mentioned, reach your protein intake for the day. And also having it after your workout. So that is something that you should be looking at. So within 60 or 90 minutes after you train, you're wanting to get some protein in your body. Whether that comes from whole food or whether that comes from a shake, there is very little difference. But from our experience and from my experience as well, I have found that it can often be challenging to have a meal during that period. Obviously this depends on the time that you train, but having a shake is often the most convenient way to get that protein intake after you train. Another question we get asked is, what should you mix your protein powder with? The obvious answer is water. There is no excess calories that comes with that. If you want something with a bit more taste, I will suggest almond milk or a cashew milk. 250 mils of that is between 40 and 50 calories, so next to nothing, and it is going to make your shake taste a lot better.
I love almond milk. Don't get me wrong. I love almond milk. I love almond milk. I love almond milk.
Mixing it in a smoothie is a preferred option for a lot of people, including myself. So I mix spinach, banana and berries in with mine and make a big smoothie with almond milk as well and some ice. And other people will have different recipes, you know, with different fruits and different vegetables that they enjoy and that they have, but having it with some other fruit and veg is a good way to help get that intake in as well, your fruit and veggie intake. Even if you are having it with normal milk, it's not the end of the world if that's what you have in your house and you enjoy that. That has a lot of other vitamins and minerals as well as some extra protein in milk too. The protein within protein powder is just like the protein that you would get in a piece of meat. So it isn't going to automatically make you super strong or super muscly or super bulky, which is sometimes the perception that people may have. It is just like protein you get in anything else. However, it is just in a lot more convenient state because it is in powder. You can take it with you. It doesn't need to be refrigerated. It doesn't take a whole lot of preparation as well. You are not going to end up super big and muscly if you start taking protein powder.
Protein.
Protein.
Protein. Protein.
Protein.
I feel as though we have put forth enough information and spoken about this enough that you guys understand that by now, but we are always just looking to reiterate what we have spoken about in the past. So protein powder is helpful for someone who is looking to increase their protein intake because they may be deficient in their protein intake getting it from normal food. Flavors, so there are obviously lots of different flavors. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, banana, chocolate mint, salt caramel and everything in between. That is purely the preference standpoint. They all typically have the same amount of protein, same amount of sugar, same amount of fat. So whatever you prefer, whatever you enjoy, then I would suggest going with that flavour. You don't want it to be something that is tough for you to consume and that you're not really enjoying, because then you aren't going to stick with it for very long. So pick a flavour that you would typically like. My advice would be look at the ice cream flavours that you enjoy and try and find a protein flavour that's the same as that.
Big party.
Protein powder is something that I take and that Jamie takes as well, and we feel as though it is something that is essential for most people and probably the only essential supplement out there. We wouldn't be speaking about this if we didn't feel as though it was going to be helpful for you guys. So I would never be recommending something that I don't take. I would never be recommending something that I wouldn't buy myself. So that's why, you know, we feel as though that a protein powder is very beneficial for most of you, because we've seen benefit for ourselves as well as other members who have done this as well. So I'll leave it there for today, but just wanted to give you a quick rundown of protein powders specifically, and hope you've learned a thing or two. And as always, thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one.